Now, oh yeah, we've gone through the cold calling process, and now it is time for us to lock in on something that I find to be more important. Now, cold calling will make you a great warm caller. So now that we're going through warm calling, what is warm calling? Now, warm calling is calling a prospect that you've already had some sort of contact with. A cold call means that that call is our very first contact. Warm call means we've had some sort of contact before. So that'd either be like LinkedIn, cold email, maybe you saw them at an event, something like that. Now, when I call them, it is a warm call. This is an awkward position for this. That's much better. Now, why should this take priority? Because these are people who have already expressed some sort of interest in our offer. Because, like you saw in our cold emails, we have CTAs like, hey, you mind if I send over a 2-minute video explaining how we achieved X result? They said, yes, we're interested. Sure, send it over, whatever. We sent them the link to the video. We sent them the case study. We sent whatever our soft CTA was, and they said they have interest. So now we gave them few minutes to watch the video, a few minutes to read through the case study. Now we give them a call. So in a day, depending on your sending volume, you might have like 10 to 15 warm call opportunities. So that doesn't mean we just do our emails in a day and we do our 15 warm calls and we call it quits. No, you'd be sitting on your hands half the day. So in the other time, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cold calling. But the priority tier is filter through the inbox, warm call, then you cold call, just so you have a gauge on what we'd like to do. Now, I'm going to cover some things in this section that weren't necessarily covered before in cold calling, but you're going to marry the concepts between the two because, like I said, taking your cold calling abilities and mixing them with your warm calling will only make you better because cold calling is inherently more difficult. So it's a good rule of thumb that I'd like you to change your mindset and realize that the more research we do for these warm calls, the more likely we are to book with them. So like we said before, we're going to look them up on LinkedIn. We're going to look them up on their website. We're going to see if anyone has published them. We're just going to see if there are any wins that we could address and discuss when we get on the call. So since we're only talking to people who've responded to our emails and that they've like expressed some level of interest, it's going to be much easier to get past the gatekeeper if there is a gatekeeper in this situation. Now, why is that? Because now I could call and just be like, they're like, hey, who am I speaking with? I can be like, hey, this is Logan. I appreciate you taking some time to talk to me. Is John available by any chance? We were just speaking and I want to see if I get in touch with him because we were just talking over email. We were just having a conversation there. So I just want to get to the next level. Most of the time they're going to be like, sure, give me 1 second, please. And they're going to go talk to John. He's going to be like, oh, okay, it's Logan. He just sent me an email. That's why speed to lead is so important because he still remembers who Logan is if I'm calling within those 15 minutes. Most of the time, if they truly are available, they're going to patch you through. If they say, no, he's not currently available at this time, just be like, perfect. When would a good time be for me to call back to address this? Because he'd expressed some interest in X offer, and I just wanted to see if we'd be a good fit for it. That's all you have to do. She's going to look at his schedule, see when a good time is, give it to you. Then you set the reminder in your CRM and you follow up. Or you, like, if you don't have a CRM, hey, remind me to call X person at this time, this place. Now, if she says she doesn't have the schedule in front of them, just be like, perfect, I'll follow up tomorrow. Look forward to speaking with you. Boom. You call back every single day. It's that simple. Now, just open up reminding them who you are and that you've had a conversation up to this point, and that you want to discuss the case study that you've sent over or whatever the video is, whatever free guide, whatever lead magnet you use. You just want to discuss it. And from there, since we've already seen interest, there's something that we have to remember here, and it's that we're not having a sales call. We are just trying to get them to the sales call. Is that simple enough? We're basically just trying to take them from this step to the next. So we have our email, then we have our warm call, then we're taking them to a sales call where we try and take them to a close. So speak clearly. You want to be confident. You would have good tone. You want to be confident in your offer, and you want to just talk about the free value that you've given them. It's that simple. So these calls are quick and easy. Don't take more than like a few minutes maximum. We're just trying to get through. And here's a big one. take notes on these calls because we are going to have a call in the future likely. And if we have to do a follow-up call, we're going to have notes in our CRM that just allow us to have a conversation starter. So I noticed I had one here that, hey, let's say that we're working remote. You hear a dog bark in the background. You could ask about their dog. There's so many different things you could do, but it just helps you bring in natural conversation. Now, here are some calling scripts that I like to use when I'm doing this. Now, you could still use the same opener that I said in cold calling, where it's just like, hey, I'm sorry for calling without an appointment, but X. At this point, it would be your lead magnet. So I just wanted to see if you had a chance to read through X, whatever your lead magnet was. But here we have, hey, prospect, hey, John, this is Logan from Reshaped. You responded to my email about lead generation for more information. Have you had a chance to look at it yet? Now, like I said in my email, we help other companies achieve whatever your case study was. So growing 6 to 8 clients every single month, whatever that is. But again, obviously here to here, let them speak and see if they have. If they say yes, then we say, perfect. What were your thoughts on that? And we get into the conversation. If they say no, you say, perfect. Like I said in the email, we help company name achieve X. As you see, we help businesses like yours. And then you mention the benefits of your product or service and how you achieve the case study. And we've been able to save our clients whatever you could get them. Perfect. Now, I have a list of questions that you could ask after you've started that conversation there that might lead to a more positive result. The first one, what made you respond to my email? It's probably quite obvious. They have the pain point. That's why cold email is so cool, but we want them to say that out loud, that they have the pain point. They thought they would be interested in more sales calls, whatever your solution is, they wanted it. Another one, could you tell me a little bit more about your current, boom, whatever you solve. So about your current lead generation processes, something like that, or your current services, whatever they are in general. And then from there, you go and how you've been addressing the challenges so far. We want to do that because we want to be sure that they're not doing our specific offer right now. And if they are they doing it the same way we are? Would we be seeing the same result that they're seeing right now? These are things we want to figure out. Last one that I like to do is, what do you think the ideal solution would look like? Again, don't get too deep into the weeds. We don't want to be on this call for more than like 3 minutes or so. We're just trying to prod and pull up enough information to build confidence in whatever our product or solution is so that we could get them onto the sales call. Now, when it comes to booking the call, you say something like, okay, sweet. So based on what you shared with me, I believe we could help you address the issue. Would it make sense to schedule a brief call to explore this further? Boom. So simple. Just book the call. Now, here's another way that you go about it. How's it going, John? This is Logan calling from Reshaped. Hope I'm not interrupting anything important right now. Do you have 2 minutes to talk about that email that you responded to? Or just whatever you were talking about? Or have you had a chance to look through that case study similar to the one before? Now, add the compliment that you researched here. After you do that, they say, yeah, sure, I have 2 minutes, but then I have to run to a meeting. Now is when we add our research. Be like, awesome. I also saw that you won Best Place to Work in Colorado last year. That's honestly really cool. So what do you think you did differently over there? What's different about your company culture that led to that? Super short conversation. Be genuine. They know they're being sold. They know they're being sold. So make it actually like genuine, have real curiosity. You showed you did research. That's awesome. So after that conversation, just be like, okay, well, I'm glad you're able to read and respond to that email. I just wanted to take a couple minutes to share who we are and ask a few questions to see if exploring this further would make sense. Now, here's some questions that you could ask after you've gotten into that. What's your current process for whatever you solve? So what's your current process for lead generation in my example? Can you tell me a bit more about your current role and responsibilities? We want to see if we're talking to the decision maker on this particular issue, and if they could help us, how we could help them, all of that. Now, what are some of the biggest challenges you face in your industry or company? We already know a lot of these, but we're just trying to get them to say their issues out loud so that we could say why our solution could fix whatever pain point that they currently have. Now, have you heard of product or service? If so, what do you know about it? So have you heard about lead generation? like a lead generation agency? Have you heard about SDR? This type of thing here, whatever you do, have you heard about it? If so, what do you know about it? And you could either say, hey, you have it spot on, or you could add what they might be missing that you currently do or solve. Now, next one, how does your company currently address the problem of that they're currently facing? Just ask that. What motivated you to respond to my email? We already know, but we want them to say it out loud. How important is specific pain point to your business right now? So how important is lead generation to your business right now? That's one. Another one, can you share your experience with similar products or services in the past? What criteria do you typically use when evaluating new solutions for your company? We want to see what kind of hurdles we're going to have to get over to get past the sales call to some sort of close, help our AE, help our closer, whoever that is. Now, what are some of the key factors that you consider when making purchasing decisions? Obviously, don't phrase it like that specifically. It's just like, okay, well, if we're going to work together, what are some of the key factors that you'd be considering? Frame it more like that instead of like, what would make you make an informed purchase decision right now? No, reframe, reword, make it work with whoever you're talking to. Now, last one, have you considered implementing cold email in your business, cold calling in your business, whatever it is? Have you considered implementing it? Yes, no, doesn't matter. You're having a conversation, you're seeing what the pain points are, you're applying a solution, and you're booking a sales call. Now, value proposition. This is where you're going to be like, well, honestly, with all that in mind, you sound like a perfect fit for our lead generation services right now. We've been able to help reshaped book 6 to 8 different clients onto their calendar, and I see no reason why we couldn't obtain similar results for your company. So now here's where we book the call. Here's some different ways we could do that. We'd be like, hey, I appreciate your time speaking with me. Based on this conversation, I think it would be valuable to set up a meeting to just discuss this a little bit further. Are you available for a call next week by any chance? Or you go, hey, can we set up a meeting to discuss this further? Let the silence be there. Now, would you like to schedule a demo just to see if this product would fit with you? Or would you like to learn more about how our product has helped similar companies in your industry right now? Or last one is, is there a specific timeline for when you'd be looking to implement a solution like this? Just see what their expectations are, because really in sales business, expectations are everything. We want to help them. So the more we can manage those expectations, the more we could help them. Now, how we're going to recap the whole thing and say, perfect. So just to recap really quick, we offer lead generation, and based on what you've told me, it seems like you'd be a great fit we'd be a great fit for your company. I'm going to send you a follow-up email with a bit more information and details about our next meeting. Would that work for you? Just be like, perfect, boom, you're good to go. This is warm calling people. It's super simple because it's extremely conversation based. Since we already know who they are, they know who we are, we know they have interest in what we have to offer. That's what makes warm calling the top priority, because we know they want it already. We just have to get them onto the sales call. It's that simple. Appreciate you guys. See you in the next video.